What is going on, you all? So today we are going to review one of our most viral videos, and it's titled
A True Love Story.
Absolutely. So let's go ahead and dive right in. This video is currently at 17.2 million views.
With over 1 million likes.
Yeah. In less than 24 hours, it jumped to 35,000 views, and we were like, okay. And one day, it ended up hitting 4.1 million views. We gained over 37,000 followers from this video and 8,000 comments.
We did that.
We did do that.
Yeah.
So why was this video so viral? We are about to go dig really deep into why we think it went viral and the behind the scenes, our insights. We're going to rewatch the video with you guys today. So you ready for that, Papa?
Let's rewatch the video.
So let's get ready to relive the moments.
Rediscover the magic.
Tie and Rah rewind.
What you want to do for love.
There was a time when you was doing your own content and I had to step up and, help push along our content. Mm-hmm. And, we always shared the idea through our notes. And when you didn't put this particular video on the notes, I was a little bit skeptical about it. You want to know why?
Why?
It was a while since you created a video, and the last video that you created was our Valentine's Day video. I thought people wouldn't resonate with it because it was just so simple.
What made it simple?
The video in general, we really didn't do anything. Typically, we leaned into the comedic over the top content.
Yeah.
But for this one, something simple as putting away dry dishes first with the wet ones is not really going to resonate with the people. That's why I was skeptical.
Right. And for me, I took this idea and brushed it past someone that I know is really pessimistic. And even that person said that was really sweet. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, I think we got something. Like, this is going to be a banger, because even that person could see how small in detail it was, but it was impactful even to them. So I was like, if the harshest critic in the world that I know can say, wow.
Who's a harsh critic?
I'm not going to say, really? I'm
not a
doing
harsh
that on
critic.
purpose. No, it's not you.
Oh, I thought you was talking about
Oh, I thought you were trying to trip me up so I can say who it was. No, I'm not trying to, trying to stir no mess. Man, we trying to keep it healthy, not toxic. I don't want no beef. If they see this, they'll know who they are, but I don't want everybody else to know who they are. But because they resonated with it and I could hear a whole shift in their tone, I knew that this was impactful. And like Ty said, it wasn't a big thing. Even in real life, when we really went through that situation, it wasn't a big thing to him, because he's just like, okay, she wants to put the dry dishes away, so I'm just going to put the dry dishes away. And when he forgot, it was exactly like the video. I walked in, instant fury, instantly turned it off. He didn't even see me come in the kitchen. And I was just like, you know what? It's just easier to be happy than angry. Like, it takes less energy. And when I felt that cool down and letting go of, this is such a big deal, when I was assisting you put the stuff away, it felt more like a community. It felt like togetherness for me, more so than if I flip it and it's like me nagging and yelling and making a big deal out of something that you clearly didn't think was a big deal. You know what I'm saying? And you were already helping out around the house, and we were doing a whole bunch of stuff. And I know how much work, stress, and, the kids and the house and everything, we're trying to do leaps and bounds in our life with a bunch of stuff. So am I really going to make a huge deal out of something that is a big deal just to me? I'm not. You know what I mean? And knowing how good it felt when you came back later and put the dishes away. And I saw that. I didn't think anything. It was more of a feeling like not only do I feel loved, but I feel heard and seen and understood. And I feel like we're more of a team than opponents in the house.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. We ended up posting 7 videos that week. I believe we did 7 videos. And your video was the last video we posted. And when we posted it, I was shocked by the responses that we received.
Why were you shocked?
It wasn't about the complexity or the humor of what we were doing. It was just about how real and relatable it was for everybody. So that kind of blew me away. I was definitely like shocked that, wow, you can do something so simple and people are going to resonate with it in a positive and negative way. So at the end of the day, you know, like, it is what it is. The premise of the whole video definitely shocked me.
Yeah, I think it was definitely a lot to digest because even for me, I didn't know that it was going to be that good. I thought that I knew for a fact that it was going to do well because typically when I see a video in my mind, it's almost like it's sent straight from God. Like God is telling me, this is exactly what I want you to discuss. You know what I'm saying? And
my left ear is ringing.
what did you program your left ear to tell you? What is your left ear saying? Maybe God is trying to come down and talk to you.
My left ear is ringing.
Hey,
anytime
God is
she
trying to
says my
tell you
left ear is
something.
ringing, it's about to be some, y'all. My left
That's
ear
true.
is ringing.
I program my ears to ring for certain things. So, but you didn't program your ears, so you have no idea why you can have tetanitis. What is it? Tetanitis.
The spiritual guides are talking.
What are they saying to you? First, when I spoke to that person, and then I had the vision of the video, I have the gift of sight in that way. I was like, yeah, I know it's going to do well. But when we saw how well it went, that was shocking. Clearly, God knew something that I didn't know, but I'm glad that I trusted it. And even though you were pretty skeptical, you were very skeptical. Let's just be real.
Yes.
You were very skeptical. But I didn't let that waver, making sure that we got that video out. And we both operate differently when it comes to making sure that they come to life. Ty wants the script to be written down. So when I didn't have the script written down,
I'm a black
just like,
and white type of person. You got to write stuff down for me.
period. But I couldn't write down the vision.
I know, and
I
I
couldn't
couldn't
see
see
it.
your vision when it wasn't written down.
Yeah.
So if I can't see the vision on paper, I'm going to definitely be skeptical about it because I'm a black and white type of person.
And I'm a spirit type of person.
I know, my left ear is ringing, baby.
So, oh my God. So, you know, when it came down to how do I tell you or direct you through something that's playing in my mind, it was really challenging for me because I'm not a real director yet.
You will be.
Thank you, babe.
You're welcome.
Ooh, that's
Ooh.
sexy. I like how you did that.
I know. Stick your tongue back in your mouth. This is a family-friendly channel.
Let me live my life.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Anyway, so yeah, I just wanted to go with the flow with that one. I couldn't really direct you until we got to the moment. And I was like, this feels right. This, you know what I mean? Like the camera angles. I was trying to remember how I envisioned it when God put the whole vision together, because even though we lived it, it wasn't cinematic. So how do I relay this message in a cinematic language? That was a lot. And that actually spiraled me into learning about cinema and all that stuff. But yeah.
Yeah. Looking back on all of that, I'm glad that we trusted your instincts and your spirit guides and your left ear ringing. You know, anytime, you know, that happens, I already know, like, we got one, baby. We got one.
It's the right ear, babe.
You said my left ear.
My right ear be ringing when it's right.
I thought you said my left. Your left ear rings when it's wrong.
Right.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. So anytime we have a video that is going wrong,
Oh my God.
all I hear every single time Oh, we gotta redo that.
Yeah, I'm like, babe, my
My
left
left
ear
ear's
ringing.
ringing. I think that's why I keep on saying the left ear.
He remembers the backlash. Like, babe, that's not right. My left ear ringing. You right. I do say that.
So, I'm glad we definitely trusted your instincts on that one. You definitely did your thing, and, I was taken aback by the responses that we received.
How has the video shaped your personal experiences and or career as a content creator?
So, for my personal experience, it has shaped me to be a patient parent.
Very interesting.
Yes, because two preteens are definitely difficult to deal with.
It's a challenge.
Yeah. Dealing with them and constantly repeating ourselves as far as like cleaning up
Yes.
or doing homework or
Yes.
doing certain things that they're supposed to be doing. Like, that stuff is hard. So, when I get in my dad mode and people start, well, not people, but the kids start the kids start getting on my nerves. I gotta show a lot of patience because I don't like repeating myself.
Say it again. Let's look at the camera.
I don't like repeating myself.
Now look at this camera.
I don't like repeating myself.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, kids are kids. They're gonna do what kids do. And as parents, we just gotta make sure that they understand what they gotta do.
Yeah,
Our kids are, the best two kids in the world, and
they are.
we always are trying to teach them how to be as grown adults. So, like, certain things, like this video, for instance,
Yeah.
like, I had to teach Cassidy certain things that is new to me that I'm like, oh, well, we were doing it wrong. And I mean, well, I didn't teach him.
He didn't say that.
We both.
There's a better way.
We both taught him
Yeah.
that there's a better way to do stuff, and that, hey, when you wash the dishes, you gotta put up the dry ones first, like we did in the video. So,
Yeah.
That we definitely have changed as far as, since we started living together. Like, that's what I was doing when you weren't living with me. I was just putting dishes in the dish rack after I washed them with the old dry dishes.
Understandable.
So,
I mean, when you get grown, you live your life, but I
Hey.
agree.
I thought that was normal, man.
Yeah, I feel like for a lot of people, it's normal because you don't really think about why you should put the old ones away. Well, I had a bigger drain board at my house prior to living with you. So I could stack more dishes in there, dry or wet, than over here. But over here, there's 4 of us. So we both went from just 2 in the household to now 4 in the household. So that was a lot to adjust to. You know what I mean? So when it was just you and Cass, you guys didn't have that many dishes.
Yeah.
And when it was just me and Donald, we didn't have that many dishes. But now that it's 4 of us, it's a lot of dishes. I, had an experience that reminded me why you should put the dry dishes away, basically, to say the least. And it reminded me of how I was raised. And I was just like, you know what? I just want to go ahead and put all the dry dishes away. But that was my decision, So when I brought it to Ty, I was like, hey, babe, can we just make sure that we put the old dishes away and, go ahead and safely put the wet dishes in there? It just makes sense for us. And sometimes having the same conversation is still really annoying, but it starts to program to them, like they hear your voice in their head. You know what I mean? So when we walk around in the house and they're doing something that we've already said something about, we give them the opportunity to show up in their best light instead of constantly correcting them right away. We just say, you know what? I'm just going to stand here and look at you and see if you get it. And typically they do.
Yeah.
So now we are about to provide you all with our audience love. Some of our favorite or some of the comments that we saw in the beginning, we definitely screenshotted you all, and we're going to read some of them and give our little input on what we think about what you say.
I think I like this one. Was, as a man, you got to set the tone. It's just science.
Period. Why do you like that one?
Because a man is the leader. At the end of the day, once you lead, your woman will follow.
What if people don't think y'all the leader?
Then I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, what's the next one?
This is kind of a, well, we'll let you guys decide. Yeah, no thanks. This created people to start acting purposely incompetent to get out of doing things.
Is this love?
This is love that I'm feeling. No, it's not love.
Okay, so since it's not audience love, okay, but let's turn it into audience love. So from this person's perspective, it seems as though they're saying that it seems like you're pacifying the nonsense and encouraging someone to use weaponized incompetence. That's something that we definitely heard a lot on this video. Mm-hmm. So their perception is saying you're creating the problem by being a part of the problem. And personally, I don't like coming from this angle of looking at the situation, even though depending on what situation you're looking at, this person can be absolutely right. Like, this is their perception. This is from their own understanding of what they've experienced in life. So we can't say they're wrong, right? From what we experienced and what we depicted, I know for a fact Ty was not weaponizing any incompetence, because one thing is for sure, two things are for certain. You're not going to get nothing past me. With this person laughing because they said LMAO.
I didn't read that part, but
no, it's okay. They're going to see it. So it's like they're trying to say jokes on us, but really the joke is on them. You're in a mind space and a paradigm of never being able to understand what we're saying. You have to live life through all the cycles in order to see the full picture. Sorry, babe, go ahead.
You want to know what's so funny?
What?
It's so funny that this person's Instagram name is High and Stressed Out Mama. Something must be stressing you out. Because at the end of the day, I mean, you got to be stressed out about something now, like for you to name yourself High and Stressed Out Mama. Like, so I guess it's telling your kids many times.
So you going to get them a shout out on us?
I mean, it's just, I mean, to be calling yourself High and Stressed Out Mama and then write a comment like that,
that's kind of toxic.
Confused. Yeah, like.
Yeah, again, you can't convince somebody to see it your way. They have to experience it themselves. And in order to experience it, you have to change yourself. So I'm not trying to change Ty and who he is. I'm not trying to force him to be something or someone that's a figment of my imagination. So since I'm not coming from that perspective, and he feels that I'm not coming from that controlling, mothering perspective, he responds on my energetic level. My energetic level is we're a team and I would love us to be on the same page. So he's going to respond to that because that is my intention. That's where you manifest from. And he understands my mindset. He understands what I believe. He understands what's important to me and how I don't only look at situations that benefit myself. I look at situations that's going to benefit the whole household. How is this going to benefit everybody? And can we benefit everybody from these decisions? So having that mindset and him knowing that I have that mindset and then he also has that mindset as well, that is what is going to bring happiness and high vibration and teamwork and be able to allow both of us to pour into a cup that's already overflowing.
And, you know, on a serious note, as far as with this comment, I don't agree with this comment, but she has every right to say what she said. I just look at this comment and I just think, if I have a kid, am I going to say, you're purposely trying to piss me off? You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's why I talked about having patience with our kids earlier. This comment right here shows that this person doesn't really have patience like that. Because If you can't deal with repeatedly telling your kids about things, are you going to say they're purposely being incompetent? I don't believe that. Like I said earlier, kids are going to be kids. It's not that they're trying to be purposely incompetent. We got preteens. They want to just sit back and play video games and watch TikTok and just, chill. So it's like, I wouldn't call our kids being purposely incompetent when we got to repeat ourselves with them.
Yeah.
You get what I'm
It's
saying?
not vindictive. It's not like some little evil thing. And not to say that people don't do it. What I got out of this comment is this person probably doesn't have healthy boundaries. Because I remember when I was in this type of energy, and maybe I didn't look at things exactly the same way as this person, but I was in the energy of not being able to trust people showing up in morality and integrity, right? And it put me in a position where I didn't want to be around people, or I acted a certain way around people. Maybe I was more aggressive to demand that type of respect because that seemed like that's the only thing that they respected. But in all actuality, it was just fear, feeling like I needed to hold other people accountable when really that was their job. So if I see somebody is weaponizing incompetence, or they're doing something that I know that they're trying to manipulate me, then I know what I'm going to do to make sure that I don't have to experience that. And there's levels to it. So since I know how I'm going to show up, and I always show up for myself, I'm not worried about that. That's not my existence. That's not my paradigm.
Next comment. If you bring yourself to a lower vibration by viewing the opposite sex as incompetent, why would you expect the universe to give you what you want? Your reality is a manifestation of your actions and your mentality and your perception on how the world is. Plus, you need to decide what actually matters. My partner has issues with dishes. I have issues with laundry. Who gives a about plates and clothes when I have her and she has me? The dishes and laundry will get done when we do them. Learn to hold grace.
You sound like me.
Yeah,
What do you think?
I agree with everything that he said. This is basically what we've been saying as far as like having patience. He said, learn to hold grace. I believe there was so much to unpack from that comment. He's saying that if you view your partner in a lower vibration, that's what you're going to get. You have all these negative things in your mind about the opposite sex. You're manifesting that for yourself. That's what you're going to get. I'm not into spirituality. This woman always tells me, you're a manifester and,
Yeah.
and
His human design. We don't know what
I
time
don't
you were
believe it,
born.
though.
You were either generating manifester or a manifester.
I don't think I'm a manifester.
You know you're a manifester. You can think whatever you want to think. Because you said some things and I'm like, babe, you manifest with your voice. And
know
you'll
what I
say something
manifested,
and it
though?
what?
I manifested you. Ooh.
Give me a kiss.
Ooh. I manifested this woman right here because when I walked in, I was like, man, yeah, I need to make sure I hop on that ASAP.
Quick segue. You say you manifested me? God told me that you were going to be coming into my life like 3 months before you came into my existence. So yeah.
Yeah.
But
That's
anyway,
dope.
Yeah. Speaking of spirituality and divine timing, that's a whole nother story time. Like, drop it down in the comments if you guys want to hear exactly how we met. If you guys want to ask us some questions for another video so that we can let you guys know how we ended up where we are.
Yep. I love this comment. He said the dishes will get done. At the end of the day, we're not going to pissed off at each other about simple things. As long as we got each other is what matters the most.
Yeah.
Is what I got from it.
And, you said a key thing that has a whole nother polar opposite to it. You don't have to get mad about little things, but you can use little things as an opportunity to solidify something big and beautiful in your relationship. So I'm getting chills thinking about it now. That video is a reminder of the time that Ty made one small decision and I made one small decision, and it fueled us for the rest of the week. We were in high vibrations. We were in love. We were feeling respected and valued and seen. So it was that small little moment that created that for us. That is really what matters. And I think people lose sight of that.
Somehow I feel like people are fighting back against algorithms.
Yes, we are.
I love this. See, I'm the one who needs grace on this sometimes. People seem to think it's a man/woman trait, but I didn't learn about cleaning and homekeeping when I grew up. And it's surprising how many things you think are automatic or common sense that a person who isn't trained on it doesn't notice. Plus, I'm ADD, so pretty distractible and forgetful anyway. But it hurts so much when I'm trying my best, only to get berated and torn down by my partner. I swear I don't purposely do things wrong or incompletely just to bother him. When he takes it personally and gets offended like someone spit in his coffee and starts ranting and complaining and exaggerating, I just want to run away and honestly just give up. Like if 90% right is me giving my 100%, then please choose peace and kindness because the negativity is killing my spirit and our bond.
She ate on that. And
Yes,
she really,
she did.
she spoke from her heart, and you could tell.
Yes. And, you know, even me just reading it, you would typically say it gave you goosebumps. That gave me goosebumps. To be reading somebody pouring out their heart like this because of what we've created, showed the world. And, you know, it's just sad that we got to read stuff like this. We always try to keep our community safe and people are able to express how they feel and be vulnerable in the comment section, because this right here, like, it's real, you know, when you have a person not understanding who you are. And as far as like the ADD stuff, I had to understand how you are.
Yeah.
But we did an ADHD video, and that was me coming in to help you, you know, complete certain tasks that you forgot.
Yeah.
The whole purpose of that video was to show how being a supportive partner actually creates a better environment. You know, the whole ADHD aspect, people felt seen. A lot of people forget a lot of stuff because they do have ADHD. You know, being in a relationship, you have to know certain things about your partner so that way you can help support them the best way you can. Knowing that you have slight ADHD. Slight. I had to really sit with myself and actually think about how I can help you in different ways as far as partnership. And that help is me not tripping about certain things that you do that might be something for me, like that I don't like. Even if I don't like it, just bring it to you in a calm manner and address it. I've been able to learn even from that video, man, like sometimes she really is forgetful and she's not really lying. She's not purposely trying to
I'm
be
not weaponizing my
incompetent
incompetence on
There
you.
go. You know, like I'm trying to say it in a way where it's like, but yeah,
Say it the way women use it against men, you know?
right. You
Yeah.
know, it's important to know things about your partner before getting into a relationship. These are things that you should do in the dating stages of a relationship. And by the way, you could check out Mrs. Luminous Roz.
What I wish I would have known
There you go.
before I started dating.
It's a dating guide.
Yeah.
And you know, there's certain things in her ebook that explains these things. You guys really need to check out.
Yeah, what I wish I would have known before dating is definitely a lot of gems in there for sure. When it comes to this young lady, to bring it back to the video, she understands that even though the person in the video is male, she can see herself in his position. And I think that's what a lot of people are missing. They're not able to put themselves in other people's shoes. So instead of her attacking men or attacking the situation, she's saying, hey, you know, I'm human and I have these things going on. And if I just had a person that was just kind to me in those moments when I'm trying to figure it out, that would mean the world to me. But instead, that person could possibly, we don't know, allegedly, is probably looking at her like she's weaponizing incompetence and coming up with all of these paradigms around why she isn't showing up the way they think she should. But I know for me personally, and the reason why Ty keeps saying I have slight ADHD is because I'm pretty on top of my ADHD. I have a lot of things set in motion that I understand and I've put trial and error to. Like, how do I show up in my best functional self? Even though I have this condition that I can't help, you know what I mean? And I don't want to take medication. I don't want to put things in my body that I'm not going to be able to willingly like wean myself off of if I need to. So just going through that experience of I put myself in other people's shoes and I understand, but just because I'm understanding doesn't mean that I'm dumb. You know what I mean? Seeing a lot of you all's comments definitely really made our day and had us go through a lot of introspection.
Yeah. So before you start dating people, know your
Who they are.
partner.
Oh, you keep saying that because I didn't disclose to you that I had ADHD.
I'm not even saying that.
But you know I didn't disclose it to you in the
You
beginning.
didn't disclose it. I had to figure that out on my own. And when I figured it out, I was like, oh, okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know that would, and that's the other thing. A lot of these people that are saying negative things, they have never had a real serious, real deal relationship in their life, probably. So they're speaking from a theoretical POV instead of actually living it. When you live with someone and you have kids and you have stressful jobs and everybody has something going on, you have to find somewhere where there's peace. You can't always wage war. Love can't be up when the swords are up. You got to put the swords down.
Definitely. I'm only 19, not much experience here. But when my mom or my partner asks me to do something, such as in this video, I always remember to be mindful of what they've asked me in the future because they chose not to escalate the situation and rather just do what she did. And never forget, it goes both ways, ladies. There are things that rile us men up about y'all, but in the end, both situations are all based on choices. And it's these choices that make or break a relationship.
Yes, it is. That is so deep. When I saw that, I was like, babe, this comment right here actually means a lot because they're 19. I don't want to say that in a way to have you guys think that we think down on younger people. That's not the case. We see so many things that are viral on the internet from this age group, and it worries the crap out of us every single day. Like, what is the future going to be when we're senior citizens and they are running the country or they are making the moves in the country, So just to see someone that's 19 that really gets it. And we have a large young following that's really mature like this. We are so proud of you all because it means so much to have that sort of introspection without someone having to tell you or teach you. Like, shout out to the parents, shout out to the environment, shout out to all of your life experiences to get you here. Was it scary talking about your relationship in short form video than getting a fair amount of backlash?
No. You want to know why?
Why?
Because we don't care about what the internet think about our relationship.
Tell him, Papa.
And, honestly, our relationship is not perfect. But at the same time, we always want to share the realism of our ups and downs, especially how we deal with our downs.
Yeah.
And what's the resolution to our downs.
Yeah.
We are never afraid to put our relationship on the internet.
Yeah. Because you're only going to be scared if you fronting.
I was just fronting.
Yeah, it wasn't for me either. Mostly, and I just have to be real, and you all gonna hear God a lot, but because it was ordained by God, I didn't have nothing to worry about. Even if I didn't understand it, and we typically did not relay our video and our contents directly to our relationship. Right? That was like the first big one where we actually took our entire experience and made it a video.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's not something that we wanted to do simply because we know how people can be on the internet. And when you have something close to your heart, you don't want other people to like rain on your parade. You know what I'm saying? So because God was a big part of that, that's the main reason why I didn't care. And our intentions were in the right place. We weren't doing it for views. We weren't doing it for fame. We weren't doing it for a plug. We were just doing it because it just felt right. Well, for me, it definitely felt right. But I feel like people can see it however they want to see it. We're going to be able to see where you are based on how you perceive the video. because our intentions were clear. Our intentions were in the right place.
Yeah. We don't care about putting our stuff online because we don't want to get the perception that our relationship is perfect. And while there's a lot of content on the internet that perceives that relationships are perfect,
Yeah.
we want to show people that partnership takes work.
Yes. We always start our video from an issue and then we come back from the issue and show how you can overcome, real life circumstances. We all are going through something. It's a tough time in the world right now. So sometimes you just have to remember that your person is in it with you. You know what I mean? And that person should have your back and you should have their back. I'm going to cry, babe. I'm so sensitive right now.
Oh.
I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
We're going to take a quick break, y'all. We're going to let her get these tears out.
No, I'm good. Okay. I'm ready.
Another thing that we want to address is not every single video that we post or that we do has something to do with our relationship.
No.
Sometimes I'm inspired by things that I see on my algorithm.
Yeah.
I might bring an idea forward and be like, hey, I think we should do this.
Yeah.
And it might have nothing to do with us, but I'll tell her like, hey, you know what? Like, I think this will be great for our audience because we are watching the comments.
Right.
Something that I like to do is I like to take what people are saying and birth a new vision.
Yeah.
For me, when I'm doing my own personal research, that's what I do. I just take, what you guys are saying and I say, hey, this person said this. And this is what I saw online pertaining to that topic.
Yeah.
So typically we'll bounce ideas off of each other. And every single video is not about us.
We're inspired. A lot of our organic stuff goes really, really viral. The stuff that we're inspired by goes viral as well. If you notice, Ty keeps saying, when I do the research, he is doing a majority of the work right now.
We're both doing majority of work. I just do research because typically with how we've moved our content towards doing healthy relationship content, my algorithm has changed. My algorithm will show me sports, will show me politics. I'm a real politic dude, sports dude. My algorithm has shifted to another aspect of life, which is healthy relationship algorithm. That side of Instagram that people be talking about all the time.
So he is not a man child. I don't think he's my child. I don't have to teach him stuff because the internet is teaching him stuff.
Yes. Because of the research that I'm doing, I'm even learning things that I've never learned before as far as, healthy ways of going about things in a relationship. And I implement them in our own relationship.
Yeah.
So that's what healthy relationship content typically does, is it pushes you towards trying to be better in your own personal life.
Right.
And I enjoy doing the research for our videos. It only helps me to become a better partner to her. I don't do it just because we want to get the views.
Right.
I do it because I want to continue to learn how to be a better partner.
One thing I love that you touched on is the fact that you said it changed our algorithm. This video changed our niche. We didn't have a niche to begin with. This set the stage toward that overcoming conflicts, healthy resolution type relationship videos that we do now. Because it was an alarming, overwhelming, welcoming to that aspect of content for us. So a lot of times we were inspired and we love how other people do their work, and we were trying to find our own language and our own vibe in content and find our own, create our own little way, our own little path. That was the catalyst to that. So now you know exactly what to look for instead of, remember, you used to just look at all relationship videos and just kind of sort through things. But now you have a really good idea on what to look at in order to zone in.
Yeah.
Because Ty gets his information from you're in your masculine energy, actually, come to think about it, because you're actively going out and searching for the information. With me, I can be taking a shower and I'll get an idea and I'll bring it to him like, hey, how do men feel about this situation. For me, I was able to learn a lot of relationship healthy information in the past. Implementing it into this relationship, a lot of things just come to me, or we'll watch other people and we'll see what they say or what they talk about, and we'll be like, okay, how will we handle that in a better situation? Or maybe we don't like how someone did something. How would we handle that situation, and how would we feel heard, and how would we depict that cinematically? Yeah. So since this is a small reflection of us, it's interesting to watch our growth from this video and the impact of this video. Just focusing on how we overcame that situation without counseling, not saying that you shouldn't get counseling. You know, if you feel like you should, then definitely do that, or a mentor.
She's your therapist.
I'm your therapist, Luminous Ra. Yeah. But being able to stand solid in our relationship, knowing that we accomplished something by doing that. You know what I mean? It affected so many people. It has created such a large discussion for so many different people. That aspect is what has changed something within me to look at us a little bit differently as well. We have finally made it to a point where we can check ourselves in the moment instead of having to revisit the moment and say, oh, I'm sorry that I did da da da. We still apologize, but I feel like now we catch ourselves before we make the mistake. Yeah. You know, the other aspect is our community. I absolutely enjoy our community and how they have been taking that particular video. The people that resonate with it, they weren't scared to tell their story. And it made me feel like we created such a vulnerable, safe space by just telling our story, that it encouraged other people to share theirs as well. And it helped other people that didn't believe it or thought it was baloney to see that other people are experiencing this type of health in their relationship too. And I feel like on the internet, it's either super toxic or super outlandish. We're so perfect and healthy. You know what I mean? Yeah. But for us, it was like a healthy mix of both. Like I could have done this, but I decided to not go down that path. Right. You could have done that, but you decided not to go down that path. And that's why the whole video is about choices. You make a choice all day, every day. Just like Fatai is sitting here choosing to sit here and listen to me. No, I'm playing.
Listen to her talk.
Why? I'm a yapper.
She loves to yap. See, I'll tell y'all this. I'm not really big on talking.
Yeah.
I don't like talking.
Yeah.
I'm glad we moved away from talking.
Yeah.
In our videos.
Yeah.
Because if y'all only see how we record our videos and how many takes and cuts we got to do when we were talking, man, that stuff is hard. Acting is hard. I'm glad we moved away from talking, and all I got to do is work on my facial expressions. I still got a lot of the work to do.
I think you're getting really good at it, though. I'm proud of you. You've made some progress.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I am.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of him.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too.
Thank you, Papa.
You're welcome.
But back to our community. I love how our community has supported us, how they feel safe sharing their stories with us. Like, we got y'all back. And seeing the impact of us responding to you all as well, that's definitely changed a lot. Because I feel like when people see us walk into the comments section, everybody kind of straightens up a little bit. Yeah.
Something else too, I police the comment section. I'm like your neighborhood police. I love it when our community also has our back.
Yeah.
Sometimes the comment section in our videos can get overwhelming for us. We try to respond to everybody, but sometimes it gets overwhelming. I've been on some old videos where people in our community are giving advice to other people that have asked questions that we weren't able to get to.
Yeah.
We appreciate those people that are able to give insight of their own when we're not able to get to all of the comments in the comment section.
Yeah, and thank you for how you respond too, because a lot of you all have a lot of patience, and it just shows like our light and our energy is drawing in the right type of crowd. You all are so mature. You're so loving, you're so compassionate, you're so safe. Like, who doesn't want to feel safe in this time period, you know? So it means a lot to us, really. And Ty is saying it's overwhelming. Overwhelming is just a word until you go viral multiple times. it's really it's a lot. It's suffocating sometimes. And like we've said, like we both feel emotions just in different ways. It's a lot, especially for me, because I want to give you all a deep, heartfelt, I hear you, I see you, I understand you response. And Ty is really good at making it quick and sweet, but making you feel like he understands where you're coming from when he responds.
Yeah, when you see all that long,
Paragraphs in the comment soliloquies.
section, that's not me. That's this
Of
lady
course,
right
it's the
here.
yapper.
If I respond, I'm gonna give you a 2-sentence
For
hit a
him.
quitter.
That's long.
Sometimes I respond with longer sentences, but it just
Yeah.
depends on what it is. We work as a team, and teamwork is what makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love to hear it. So how do you think our relationship has evolved before the video and now, or when we first made the video and now?
After we made the video, we were able to have a conversation about my childhood and growing up.
Yeah.
And people were saying,
What if they weren't raised like
well,
that?
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm Nigerian. And my mom, when she taught me how to wash dishes, she only taught me how to wash, the pots and the pans and the plates and stuff like that. But when it came to having the dry dishes in the dish rack, that didn't matter to her. She'll put the wet dishes in the dish rack with the dry dishes. To me, that was normal.
Right.
When we started living together, you came into me and Cassidy's lives. We had a discussion about it. You saw that I was putting wet dishes in the dry dish rack, and this video was so simple to me.
Yeah.
So our conversation as well was a simple conversation, because the best thing to do in the household is to keep the peace and not have fights over simple stuff like dry and wet dishes. So me and Cass made the change to start putting up the dry dishes before we wash dishes and stuff. So that's something that definitely has opened up conversations between me and you, because I don't think you ever knew that when we first started talking. And who's ever going to talk about on a date? Did your mom raise you to put up dry dishes?
How ridiculous would that date be? I would walk out.
That's the last topic of conversation you're going to have with somebody on a date. So that's something that was never addressed until we made a true love story.
And I appreciate you guys for changing.
You're welcome.
Because it's kind of different. Like when you decide to live with someone and you move into their space, you have to kind of figure out, how do I navigate this and operate in this space, but also continue to keep it healthy and thriving, make sure that we are able to evolve as a unit, you know? So the fact that you all were willing to listen to me and implement that as well, it meant a lot. And I always say thank you. And I'm gracious because I understand what it's like to have somebody in your space and then changing your stuff. People can get kind of prickly around that. Yeah. I definitely asked you, how did you grow up and how was that your dynamic? And we discovered that's why you did it, because that's what you saw growing up and you learn from what you see. So even us showing up as parents, like you discussed before, our kids are watching how we move and grow up through things. And the way I grew up, my mom was what some people would consider very OCD. That was my norm, but other people thought she was extreme. So as I got older, because I was experiencing so much anxiety trying to keep up being perfect all the time, I had to be perfect. My look had to be perfect. I had to be top notch in everything that I did in life, and my house had to be in order at all times. So having all of that going on and then also having a child, it became really heavy and I started to relax. And by the time I moved in with you, I knew I definitely had to relax because I can't trip on everything that you do, especially if I'm not doing everything. You know what I mean? It's just kind of wild. So coming here and then my cup breaking, I don't know what it is about these cups, but I broke like 3 of them in different occasions for the same reason. And I had enough for the last one. Going through that, to me, it was like a life lesson for me, saying basically, to sum it up, you know what? You still have a standard to uphold. And even though certain things aren't a big deal, you can still hold a certain standard. You can still evolve and move forward in life and find ways where you can balance it. So having that community and everybody in the house showing up for me for something that was important to me, it expanded how much love that I had to give back to the household in a sense. So beforehand with this whole situation, when we first started, I feel like this video opened up both of our eyes and how we operate going forward in all these little ways. It meant a lot because we want the kids to be these great, genuine, great men, I guess you can say, right? And they're watching us, they're watching you more than me. So I can say things a million times and I have to say it a million times, but Ty can say it one time and sometimes they get it. Sometimes he has to repeat himself, maybe far and few in between. But for the most part, they look at us and they look at him because he's a man just like them. So for you to support me and have my back on that, to show up as like this great man and then like they're turning into great men. I love that for you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Papa. You're welcome.
Appreciate that. So that video really did numbers for us, but I think that we should do a little bit of a celebration with some refreshments.
Absolutely. So we're going to go ahead and shake some things up and whip a little treat so that we can celebrate the success that we all experienced from this video.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So what are we doing here?
So we are going to make some pina coladas. Okay. Typically, I like to do virgin drinks, but today we're just going to go ahead and add the liquor because I don't know how to make a virgin and I don't want to mess up the consistency of the recipe. The first thing we're going to do is go ahead and add the liquor to the blender. Thank you, my loyal servant. And next we're going to add the pineapple juice. Now, this one takes cream of coconut and apparently is different from the other coconut stuff. This is like a coconut oil type consistency, but we're going to add that next.
Smith, is that her name?
Mm-hmm. You got to get it all in there, babe. Are your fingers clean? Because you might have to scoop that on.
I don't know. I think I've probably been digging.
Digging where? You know what? I don't even want to know. I don't even want to know. The next thing that we're going to do is take frozen pineapples. Doesn't really matter the brand. And pina colada is actually one of my favorite first mixed drinks. What about you? I like sweet stuff.
I'm a cognac type of guy.
Oh.
You know, you give me some Hennessy.
So you just want it straight?
Douce.
Just straight.
Hey, it gives you, you know, hair on your chest. You know?
I don't need hair on my chest.
I mean.
So I just added half a cup of pineapples. It was a little bit more than half a cup. But now we're going to add about half a cup of ice. Add the ice.
Add the ice. What do we do next?
I mean, now you just blend.
Is this smoking?
Smoking. We got to really, really, really blend it well. You said why we got to blend it well? Because it has pineapple chunks in it.
Oh, yeah, it does have pineapple chunks. But it's not moving, babe.
Gotta shake you off. The loving ain't the same. You hold on to that, and then I'm gonna add some more liquid.
Okay.
So, originally we were supposed to be putting 20 ounces or something? Oh, that was a lot.
She over here just pouring whatever.
It slipped.
Sure.
Okay, you can go ahead and blend it.
You know one thing about you?
What?
You love improvising.
Sure do. Voila. And I think it's ready to rumble. Now that we have put it in our cups, we can go ahead and dress it with our little cherries. Ain't that right, babe? Okay, so now we already made our drinks, so let's go ahead and head back to the couch.
Back to the couch.
Come on, Papa. Thank you so much for being a part of our journey with us, helping support us, also helping us reflect. You know, we're the teachers and you guys are the students, but it can always flip. And we've learned a lot from you all too.
Yes.
Cheers to healthy relationships and a prosperous 2025. Ooh.
So One thing that I've been able to take away from this video, I've been able to find a lot of stuff online as far as romance. I'm not a big romantic guy. When we were dating, I believe I told you that I'm not romantic. I don't really know how to be romantic. The things that's been helping me since doing this video, being able to see certain things as far as romance and how to get to that level for myself, so that way I could provide you with that type of experience. You know, that's something that I definitely been able to pick up since we did the video.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. I've seen a development in character for you. And you want the rest of that?
Why are you trying to drink my drink?
I think that the video has definitely pushed me to take a deeper reflection into myself. Even with the whole kind of losing my temper and getting agitated. Well, really it was not even losing my temper. I was just agitated. You know, I didn't want to repeat myself again, and I was getting flustered about him not showing up perfect. And that kind of goes back into my own upbringing and how I was raised. It's like those little triggers and little incidents of what we can consider as trauma. But can I say it's trauma? I don't really feel like that aspect of me is trauma, but it's definitely something that can trigger me. So overcoming those aspects and just kind of feeling like, you know, I can take a breath. And I know I have a partner that is very receptive, always willing to show up in his light and help, even if he doesn't share the same beliefs or religions or whatever I do. He's still willing and able to show up to the best of his ability. As long as I know that and he continues to show me that, then I'll continue to always have grace.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This is the biggest video that's been viewed on our account, and the comments were definitely overwhelming. The one thing for me was the negative comments and being able to refrain from responding to negative comments, because when I get pissed off, I get pissed off, and
Period. We keeping it real.
yeah,
we are
like,
human, you know.
You know, especially when people are coming for you.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I'm going to protect you at all costs. And
period. My man.
What is wrong
I had
with you,
to.
man?
It's so real. That's how I be feeling. Like, my man.
But yeah, like, I'm her number one protector. So learning how to refrain from
snapping off, baby.
Yeah, going off in the comments on people that want to be trolls. Like I said, I'm on comment patrol. So when you come up on our page and you try to troll or write negative comments, you're going to the bottom of the comments.
Don't tell them where we putting them at.
They're going to the bottom of the comment section.
What do we call it? We call it the dungeon. No, it's not the dungeon, but it should be.
The dungeon where nobody's going to see what you said.
We're gonna send you to the dungeon.
So that's how I've been able to deal with comments.
But I think that I want to definitely add and thank you, because recently we posted another video and you were on comment patrol all night long, all morning long, like even at his day job. And I was on my cycle, so things may affect me a little bit more during that time. And for you to know that and automatically just get on top of it, I really appreciate you for that, because when I realized that that's what you were doing, I was like, he's so sweet. And also, you're not just protecting me. Your whole mannerism in that is protecting our community too. When you guys go into the comments and you see all the positive comments on a video that you know could have negative comments, it feels safer. It feels like we get to frolic in a utopian type of world, you know, in the comments section, and we're all having a good time and we're all vulnerable and we're all feeling good, creating a deeper, stronger bond. And we don't have to think about the negative comments. We don't have to feel like we can't speak or share love, share bliss, share hope. And that is what keeps everything going for us. And I know for me personally, as a creator, I've realized how impactful not only Ty taking it upon himself to show that kind of strength and resistance and reacting, saying, you know what, I have another option that is going to neutralize the situation instead of cause situations where now we got to put out a big fire just because we responded and tried to take up for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like we don't even have time at this point to do that. In all actuality, when you keep going viral, it's very challenging to even pay attention to the negative. Now, Ty has had the hot hand for a very long time, and that video was my random little sprinkle on our account, but in the background, we're still coming up with ideas. We're still trying to expand. We're trying to create an atmosphere where everyone can feel seen, heard, and have the opportunity to evolve and show up as their best selves. That takes a lot of work. That takes a lot of energy. And then we have our own stuff on our own time. Finding that happy medium, we're going to put water on the fire and not add fire to the fire.
Yes. Yeah. Like, I'm still learning as far as like trying to roast people on the internet. My comebacks are like old school mentality jokes, like your mama jokes.
He be looking for the pictures of your mama on there.
So I'm trying to learn the new age anti-comeback.
I'm good at that. Sometimes he'll tell me his ideas though, and I'll sum it up, and he's like, "Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about." So he go, "Hey, you better watch out."
One good thing that we typically be saying now is thank you for trying to add value to our page.
Thank you for the attempt.
Yeah,
you
trying
attempted
to add value,
and you failed.
So
hey, we're still 90s kids, well, kind of 80s, right? You kind of 80s, baby. You 90s. You don't remember the 80s. We're still kind of 90s kids, so we have that little je ne sais quoi, that little sprinkle attitude, that little try me if you want to, you know. So millennials, baby. Shout out to the millennials, but shout out to Gen Z as well. You guys are showing up and showing out.
Yes.
Yeah. So we love that our whole community is full of different generations, actually, babe. We got the generation above us. We got our parents' generation.
I could tell you one generation that doesn't mess with us.
Who?
The baby boomers.
No, I've seen some baby boomers that mess with us.
The baby boomers do not mess with us.
I'll say this, and it's telling. So, we've seen more baby boomers on videos that are more on the toxic side.
Yes. On
our page than the videos that are all in love. But I will say that I am proud of the baby boomers that are on our page and support where we're taking things, because we do have some baby boomers.
Yeah, we got sprinkle, but
we got to sprinkle it down.
This video taught me that everybody's different and everybody want what they want. And I feel like we live in a world where a lot of people try to tear people down because of differences of opinions and values, morals, goals.
Parents.
The one thing that we all don't try to do a lot of is to accept people for who they are. This video has taught us how to navigate differences with love and understanding. This morning, me and you were watching this couple on YouTube. The couple were into spirituality. I was telling you I apologize for not being into spirituality, and you told me it was fine, that I'll find my path. I just wanted to let you know that I appreciate you for supporting me as far as like my journey into finding my own path and not manipulating or forcing me to accept spirituality as my form of belief. Yeah. That difference between me and you, it's being shown by this video as far as like my upbringing and your upbringing. Yeah. So just like how you accepted me for who I am as far as not being into spirituality, there's a lot of things that I accept too. You're into spirituality, and there's sometimes where I'm like, I
don't get it.
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, the one thing that I will say is like, as far as like manifestation, I think we touched on it earlier. You have taught me that manifestation is real. Yeah. So as far as that side of spirituality, you know, I could get down with that. Okay, you know? Period. So as far as our relationship goes, we're both different where our path is taking us. That's the exciting thing as far as our relationship. Like we get on TikTok Live, people ask us, how does your relationship work when you're into spirituality and I'm not? You have to set aside the differences for understanding and love. Yeah. If you understand your partner, then love will come. Yeah. If you don't understand your partner, then you will never get love. Everybody is always going to be different. You shouldn't tear anybody down. You should always uplift your partner, whoever it is, like just uplift them, bring them to a higher vibration. See, spirituality talk right there. Bring them to a higher vibration instead of, bringing them to a lower vibration. So all in all, like, I just want to thank you and I appreciate you for accepting me for who I am.
You're welcome.
That's been something that I know it's hard for you to deal with. A person that is not into spirituality.
It's not hard.
Oh, it's not hard?
It's a challenge.
It's hard to deal with me, baby.
It's a little challenge.
It's hard to deal with all of this.
It's a little challenge.
She gonna say, it's not hard.
It's hard.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say something slightly different, but just to piggyback off of what you're saying, because it's like such a good perspective, because we are different and we see the world differently. I feel like if we would have tried to navigate getting to each other from our own conscious mindset, we probably wouldn't have been where we are now. Like I said before, this is ordained by God, in my opinion, because the things that you mentioned, I remember when I was single, I didn't want to be with somebody that wasn't conscious enough for me, like at my level. You know what I'm saying? I wanted somebody to meet me there because I didn't want to have to go through the back and forth. But I also asked God for patience. And that's why when you're like, I know it's hard to deal with me. And I'm like, no, it's a challenge. But I asked for something and you gave me the opportunity to show up in my life and show up like that. I'm not going to cry.
It's okay, babe. I love you.
I love you too. Oh my God, I'm actually crying. I'm a gangster.
Okay. Real gangsters move in silence like lasagna.
So you've created opportunities for me to be a better person than where I was at. And I wasn't perfect. And I think that I did have some of the mindsets of some of the people in the comments. Like, I don't want to deal with that because I'm tired of that and I'm tired of this. But you weren't that. So I'm glad that God put me in position to be able to receive you and not destroy what we have now, because we wouldn't have made it this far had we both not gone through what we've gone through in the past leading up to each other. In the beginning, like, we knew that we were going to get married. We knew all of these things, even though we didn't know how we were going to do it or when we were going to do it. We were just there in that mindset already, but we still had a lot of work to do. Now, almost 3 years later, right?
2.5. No, I think it's almost 3.
It's almost 3.
Yeah.
Almost 3 years later, it's like the growth that we've had from the beginning of our relationship to now. It's like we were thinking about marriage and we thought we were ready to get married and be husband and wife. But now I feel like we're graduating into that. Yeah. This video is like one small little piece of our growth, and it's our memory. It's our dedication to having something to work toward in this lifetime together as a couple. Like, we both have our own individual goals, but as a couple, to inspire other people to do the work, even when they're single, so that you're already prepared for your partner. Like, if you think you're perfect, hell no, you're not, bro. Like, you have a lot of work to do. You're not perfect. Trust me, because I knew I wasn't perfect, but I didn't know how flawed I was until we start living together. And I have to get on top of myself and show up in a light that I felt that you deserved as a partner, because you show up for me a certain type of way. And I was like, I need to show up in those areas where I lack as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome, babe.
Thank you for always showing up. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank
you. You're welcome. I'm still trying not to cry, guys. So my take on this part is this video has showed us that there's still hope. We have created something big, and I feel like there's a lot of comments now that are starting to say it on our current videos that we are changing the culture. Like, we're doing something to change different things in the world, and I don't know what they are yet, but to be able to have an environment for people to come and share their stories and be vulnerable like that and show up, and exactly what people are trying to say in the comments don't exist. Everybody isn't scared to be authentic. Everybody isn't scared to be vulnerable. Everybody isn't scared to share their bliss, their love, their happiness. And I feel like we need a lot more of that in this world. A lot of people are so scared to speak on their relationships, or it's easier to just keep it to yourself and live in bliss and not say anything about it, because there's so many people that think that they're innocent and they're not low vibrational or negative, but they really are. And for us to have the courage to say, you know what, we're just going to go with it, and to open the door for other people to go with it with us and share their experiences and show us that we're not alone. You know what I mean? I think that that is something that's really helps me in reflection and growth for myself. I believe it's essential that we speak our truth and try to create experiences in our life where our truth is positive, like there's a positive turnaround. And I love that aspect of our videos, that we always turn it around and show what positivity looks like from a point that may seem down or negative or maybe hard on the couple or the relationship. And it doesn't always have to be the individual people, but circumstances make things really hard, and it's challenging to navigate when, like Ty has touched on so many times in this video, he grew up a certain way, seeing a certain thing. So if you don't have the example and you don't believe in movies and you don't believe in other people, like where do you turn to? Where do you look? Just remember to reflect on your thoughts. Whoever you think you are, always reflect back on who you think you are as you go through your journey. Always challenge yourself and go outside of your comfort zone, because we always hear it, but it's real. Everything outside of fear, once you push past fear, is freedom. You know what I'm saying? And it just reminds us of when we went to Costa Rica and we jumped off this like little hanger cliff thing. It was the scariest thing we've ever done. But Ty, you know, having his fears that he had to push past, he went first. It naturally made me follow after him. So he led me in that moment. Like I could have made the decision and the choice not to go down that path, but I decided to push past my fear as well.
And see, when I talked about men are the leaders and then women follow, when I jumped off that cliff, down into
Down under.
down into the down under. I'm a person, I hate heights. Out of everybody in the group, I was the first one to step up, because I already knew, like, if we watched other people go, I probably would have chickened out, and then she would have been like, well, I'm not doing it. But the moment that I was like, I'll go first, my baby went second.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, when I said earlier, like, men lead, women follow, that's typically what I meant.
Oh yeah, and we always like rethink that, revisit that. We even recreated content with that situation, because, you know, that was a very strong point in our relationship, just like this video. That was something that was a catalyst to a lot of change, and to have the conversation afterward, like, I can't believe we did that. And, you know, we were so excited and sharing our fears and being vulnerable and communicating, just like the video. Everybody says communicate, but you want to communicate from your heart space, not just your mind, you know? So if your heart is open, then you are very strong, like contrary to believe, right? Common belief. So just remember that, you know, that's the most important thing about life. And it's not just in romantic partnerships, it's in every avenue of life. You know, follow your heart, follow your spirit, and back it up with some willpower to see it through.
Definitely.
Now that we shared so much information, we probably yapped a lot. But
We yapped?
oh, you's a yapper.
I did very minimal
baby,
talking.
no, baby, no. We might have to edit out all your yapping. Okay, please. Like,
She gonna say we.
It was. I sat here and
You
watched
see how I
you
get
yap.
tossed into the yapping
Oh my
conversation?
God, man, cut it.
I love it when you yap though.
Oh, I like that.
I like that too.
Okay, period.
Period.
Thank you.
Thank you.
For taking your valuable time to sit with us, especially if you made it all the way to the end of this video. If you enjoyed our conversation and enjoyed how we laid this all out for you guys, definitely leave us some comments down below so that we have a better idea of what you would like to see, or a video that you would like us to touch on. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you're really rocking with this. Send it to a loved one. Maybe it'll open their eyes up to something as well.
So with that being said, like she always say on her other channel, peace,
Love,
love,
and
and
a
a
little
little
bit
bit
of
of
spice.
spice.
Mwah!